since we have already discussed in the class the standard equation of the parabola, so now let me give you some terms that are related to a parabola. Now in the standard equation of the parabola given by the equation y square is equal to 4ax, when you draw the curve of this one, we know that the focus S is, the coordinate of the focus S is given by a0 and the fixed straight line is given by this line which is parallel to the y-axis. Now here let us see what will be the line, this line which passes through the focus, this line which passes through the focus and perpendicular to this directrix, that is a fixed straight line, will be called as the axis of the parabola or the x-axis. So the line which passes through the focus and also perpendicular to this directrix, which is a fixed straight line, will be called as the axis of the parabola. Now the point of intersection of the parabola, this is a parabola, the point of intersection of this parabola with the axis of the parabola, that is this point here, given by A, whose coordinate is 0, 0, we have taken it as the origin. This is called as the vertex of the parabola, y square is equal to 4ax. Now we know that a line which passes through the now in this case, if I take this, this is a point P having coordinate as xy. Now a line which passes through the focus will and also meet the parabola to the other side of the parabola, to the other side of the axis, will be called as the, that is this line will be called as the focal chord. What is a chord? Chord is nothing but it is a straight line which cuts the parabola at 2 points. So in this case also this P, sorry, this is not L prime is here, this is PP prime. PP prime will be called as the chord, but since it passes through the focus, then it will be called as the focal chord. Now if I draw a line which passes through the focus and at the same time perpendicular to the x-axis or the axis of the parabola, then and produce it to meet the other part of the parabola on the other side of the x-axis, that is L prime in this case, this will be perpendicular to the x-axis and at the same time also it passes through the focus. Then this will be called as, that is this green line here will be called as the lattice rectum. Now how we are getting the coordinate of the lattice rectum, a twice a here and then below it is a minus twice a, is since it passes through the focus, the x coordinate is a here. Then you can substitute it in this one. When you substitute it here, then you get y square is equal to 4a into a. This implies that y square is equal to 4a square, or y is equal to plus or minus 2a. So the value of y will be 2a and minus 2a. So 2a, it will be above the x-axis. So that means the coordinate of L here will be a twice a and the coordinate of L prime will be a minus twice a. Now next, if you take a point Q, which is a point on the parabola, and drop a perpendicular from this point Q to end here on the axis of the parabola. Now from here you can produce it to meet the other part of the parabola on the other side of the x-axis at Q prime. Then this line Q prime here, Q and Q prime here will be called as the double ordinate. This is called as the double ordinate. Double ordinate means nothing only, it is a chord only, but it is a chord which is perpendicular to the axis of the parabola. It may or may pass through the focus, it doesn't matter for that one. So now we have double ordinate is a chord which is perpendicular to the axis of the parabola. So these are the terms that are related to the parabola. Now note that every lattice rectum cannot be a double ordinate, because lattice rectum is also a double ordinate, but the one thing it is different from the ordinate here is that it passes through the focus. It must pass through the focus and perpendicular to the x-axis. But a double ordinate is a straight line, is a chord which is perpendicular to the x-axis, but it need not pass through the focus. So we can you note down this thing that every double ordinate may not be a lattice rectum, but every lattice rectum is a double ordinate. So these are the terms that are related to the parabola. And here also you can see that the coordinate of Q here, one of the coordinate of this double ordinate here is h to square root of ah. If you take the x coordinate of n here, which is on the x-axis, as h, then the y coordinate will be 0. So now put h, this one, put h, x is equal to h in y square is equal to 4ax. Then this will imply that y square is equal to 4ah. And this will imply that y is equal to plus or minus 2 square root of ah. So you'll have the y coordinate as 2 square root of ah, and then the x coordinate as x is equal to h, because the x coordinate of q prime also will be x because it is perpendicular to the x-axis here. So these are the important terms that are related to the parabola. The lattice rectum is nothing but it is a chord which is perpendicular to the x-axis, and at the same time it passes through the focus. And in this figure it is presented by this green color line, and then focal chord is a chord which need not be perpendicular to the x-axis, but it passes through the focus. It is represented by this blue colored line, and then this yellow colored line represents a double ordinate, which is a chord again perpendicular to the x-axis, but it does not pass through the focus. So this is the vertex, the point of intersection of the x-axis and the parabola. Hope it is clear now. So these terms related to a parabola, and what are the coordinates of the lattice rectum, how we are getting the coordinate of the lattice rectum are as a twice a and a minus 2a below. Similarly for the double ordinate. Now let me come to the next one. This one, how to find the intersection of a line and a parabola. Now in the equation, standard equation of the parabola, y square is equal to 4ax. So this is a parabola, and let us draw this line which cuts the parabola at 2 points, at this point and at this point. Then this this line will be called as the chord. Now let us take the equation of this line be represented by y is equal to mx plus c. Now from this equation 2 you can find out what is x. X can be written as y minus c by m. Now substitute this value of y is equal to x is equal to y minus c by m in equation 1, that is y square is equal to 4ax. After substituting it in this equation, then you'll get y square is equal to 4a into y minus c by m. And simplify this one, and then this equation become my square minus 4ay plus 4ac is equal to 0. So let us name it as equation 3. Now you can see, what we notice from this equation 3 is that this equation represents a quadratic equation in terms of y. So now there will be two roots or two solutions to this one. Then you can find out the roots by using that formula. So y is equal to 4a plus or minus square root of what is b here, it is minus 4a the whole square minus 4ac. What is a is m, and what is c, it is this 4ac here. But divided by 2a is m, so it will be 2m. So on simplifying this one, you'll see that y is equal to a plus or minus 2 in the square root of a square minus acm by m. Now case 1 is this one. If the value of this term inside the square root a square minus acm square root a square minus acm is greater than 0, then in that case there will be two distinct values of y, or two roots for y, and that two values of y will give two different values of x, and therefore you will get the coordinate of this point of intersection of this chord at this point here, and another point at the and another value of x and y will be the coordinate of this point here. Now case 2. However, if square root of a square minus acm is less than 0, then in that case it will be an imaginary root. So in this case, the chord here or the line here will not cut the parabola. So there will be no point of intersection of that line y is equal to mx plus c with the parabola if the term square root a square minus acm is less than 0. That is negative, because in this case you will get two imaginary roots, where therefore this line will not cut the parabola at any point. Now case 3, the last case is case 3. If a square minus acm is equal to 0, that is square root of this is equal to 0, means that a square minus acm is equal to 0. So in this case you'll see that y will be just equal to 2a by m. That means there will be only one value of y. So if there is one value of y, then in that case you'll get only one value of x also. That means the point of intersection of this chord here will be just at one point. So it will be this line represented by the yellow colored line, because there will be only one point of intersection of the line y is equal to mx plus c with the parabola. And this, since it is this line meet the parabola just at one point or touch the parabola at one point only, then it will be called as a tangent, because tangent is nothing but it is a straight line which touch the given curve at just one point. So this y is equal to mx plus c here will become a tangent in this case for case 3, when the value of this one square root of a square minus acm is equal to 0. So you'll see from here this is a focal chord. There will be 2 points of intersection of this line y is equal to mx plus c if the root square root a square minus acm is equal to acm is greater than 0. If it is equal to 0, then it will become a tangent, and this the equation in this case y is equal to twice am. So you can substitute it in this case. We can put this one, put y is equal to twice a by m in equation 2. Then you'll get twice a by m is equal to mx plus c, or x here we can find it from here, then it will be twice a minus twice a by m minus c divided by m. So finally you'll get x will be equal to m and m will be cancelled, or it will be twice a minus cm divided by m square. So this will be the x coordinate at this point of contact of the tangent to the parabola. Now, since we have got the value of this y as twice a by m, then we can from this equation square root of a square minus acm is equal to 0. We can have a square minus acm also equal to 0. You can remove the square root sign. So now from here you'll see that you can calculate the value of m. So from this equation m will be equal to a by m. So now here the particular value of that constant term c in this equation 2 will become a by m when the value of this discriminant here is equal to 0. That means when it is a tangent to the parabola. So in that case, what will be the equation of the tangent? Now this equation y is equal to mx plus c will become y is equal to mx plus what is m here? We have got it as a by m. A by m. So this equation of the tangent here will be the equation y is equal to mx plus c will be a tangent if c is equal to a by m, that is y is equal to mx plus a by m will be the equation of this one. So here you can replace it a by m, and for this one just a chord it will be y is equal to mx plus c. Okay, so the equation of the tangent will be given by the equation y is equal to mx plus a by m, where c has been calculated from that condition that square root of a square minus acm is equal to 0, where we, on simplifying this one, we are getting it as c is equal to a by m. So hope it is clear now that the equation of the tangent to the parabola y square is equal to 4ax must be given by the formula y is equal to mx plus a by m. Or you can have a remark and conclude from here also that the equation y is equal to mx plus c will be a tangent to this parabola if the value of c is equal to a by m. Hope it is clear. Please go through this one. If it is not clear, you please let me know.